Welcome to Startup Frequency, sponsored by the Nairobi Podcast Studio. I'm your host, Moses Mastaki. And today, the Nairobi Podcast Studio is at the Nairobi Startup Summit. The main goal for us to be here is to have conversations with startup founders, industry makers, industry shakers on different kind of conversation, different kind of topics. And our main topic today is what does it take to have a successful startup? Numbers showed that most of the African startups failed before their third anniversary. And our main goal today is to understand the history, the stories behind these numbers. And also just to answer to one question, what does it make to have a successful startup? And today we have another guest, a second guest to our podcast. I'm going to let him present himself.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to have me here today. My name is Hezron Sigilai. I'm a speaker, entrepreneur, and a leader. And I build communities for a living.
Personally, I do believe in Africa, Africa to me is a huge community. Sure. And we all grew in communities right from when we were kids, when we are young people, even in the universities and etc. So that the part of the community in the African culture is something really, really important. So my first question is what are you building? And why did you think it's really important now, especially in Kenya, especially in the era that we live right now, to build a community?
Amazing. Thank you so much for that question. So what am I building right now is I'm building a community called Future Builders Global.
Okay.
So what do we do in Future Builders Global? We help young entrepreneurs move from ideation to execution. Because one thing I realized is that the richest place in this world is actually the graveyard. Reason behind is because many people kept on postponing ideas that would have made a very big impact in today's world. They kept on telling themselves that, hey, I'm going to do it this evening, I'm going to do it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Time went, decades, and these whole ideas just ended up in a graveyard. So I feel like the biggest problem first we have in Africa is people just having the ideas in their minds and never executing them. So that's why I came up with the idea of how about I build a community whereby so many people have ideas, can come on board, sit, and have a conversation of, hey, how do we move from ideation to execution? And that is now where my community comes in within.
Okay. So you have talked about two things which I think are really important. First of all, building a community, and not just building any type of community, building a community with people who have ideas and who are looking for that kind of community, that kind of support, I think, that is going to help them in making the ideas come into reality. So first of all, what does to integrate the community?
Okay.
Can anyone just integrate the community? Or for you to integrate the community, you have to have an idea, or you have to have a startup idea. So what are the conditions for just a normal person, a normal kid, a normal student from the university to integrate your community?
Okay, so first of all is you need to have something called a concept note.
A concept.
So what is a concept note? A concept note is now the whole idea you have in your mind.
Okay.
Writing it down. Because they usually say that a problem's written down or a problem said is half solved. That means when you have your idea down, it's way more easy even to know, hey, where do we start? What do you need at the moment to move from this here to that stage? Okay. So first of all, someone has to have a concept note. That means an idea written down it can be in a document or it can be in a hard copy, depends on what you want. But we majorly prefer to be a soft copy because even sometimes when you want to pitch to investors, sometimes they tell you, hey, send me a document, send it to my email. So preferably, we love to have people have the concept note. That is the first stage of now having us in your community.
Okay, that's really interesting. So the first, the initial phase to integrate the community is first of all, you have to have a
concept note.
A concept note.
That means you write down your idea into something like a soft copy or a hard copy.
Okay. So that's the first condition. For you to integrate, you have to first a concept note.
Sure.
And I think you have mentioned multiple things which are really interesting. Mm-hmm. First of all, you might have an idea, but if you have not written that idea down, it's just an idea.
It's just an idea.
It's just an idea. And I think the next phase to me would be you don't have just to write it down.
True.
Writing it down, it's
just the first step.
It's the first step.
True.
Then breaking it down into multiple phases and see how you can make it bring it into reality. Mm-hmm. And that's when the community comes in.
True.
Because I believe in the community you have people with experience also in startup funding, but also putting of systems and etc. Mm-hmm. So what are the different profiles of people like in the community?
Okay, so first of all, we have those people who are it's just something new to them.
Okay.
Like, it's just they've been having these ideas, they've noted it down, and now they just don't know where to start.
Okay.
That is the first people that we have. Second, now we have those people who've already started building,
Okay.
but they're stuck somewhere. That means they've moved from that stage of, I have noted it down, I'm now actually doing it. Then we have now those people who have the experience. They're actually in the building, but now they don't know how now, because after now you build, you have to launch it and have now to make an impact. So then now those people who have now the experience, they've gone through the problems. Some of them even have ended up just canceling everything else and just starting. So these people now, you're going to have the learners, the people now on the building phase, and other people who have the experience, even who have failed. And now we're going to have people now who have just gone beyond and they're making an impact. So that means everyone is going to feel they're going to belong to the community. Reason behind, one, we have people just starting. We have people actually who are building. We have people now who have the experience. But even some have gone ahead, some have failed.
Okay.
And the best teacher is actually your experiences. When you fail,
Exactly.
it teaches you something. And now we have those people now who are in the top, who are already conquering the market.
Okay.
So the community is a place whereby it makes everyone feel that this is where I belong.
Okay.
And that is why now we created the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's really important, even, like in the era that where we live right now, whereby social media is everywhere, like people have less connections and having communities. And since we started like the Nairobi podcast studio, we have realized like most of the conversations that we are having, like it's always about community.
True.
And I think like right now, having a community is really important.
Very true.
Just like you've explained, the base teacher is always experience.
True.
But unfortunately, like right now, you cannot wait for you to make all the mistakes that exist in the world so that you can have the experience. You can also learn from others people's experience.
Other people as well.
Like other people's experience, other people's failure. Because each and every person is always running behind like the successful stories. But to me, I'm like, okay, maybe you have to also learn from the failures. Because that's where we learn valuable lessons. So I think that's really interesting. So how many people are in the community right now?
Right now we have 600 members in our community.
600 members.
Yeah.
That's really huge. 600 people like in the community.
Yeah.
And you meet somewhere or just like online? How does it work?
Okay, so we usually have online sessions every week. It usually happens on Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
And we have like an extended 30 minutes for Q&A.
Okay.
Then also we usually meet physically monthly.
Monthly.
We usually have something called coffee and conversations.
Okay.
So here, you just all come in and have a conversation just about business. How can I start this? How can I move from here to here? So it's more of like catching up just randomly with people. It's more of like a networking.
Okay.
But it is more about learning.
Learning.
Chatting with people, getting to know what they're doing, what are they building, what problems are they facing, how are they able to do this, how are they able to move from these problems and get to have a solution of what they're building. So we usually have also a monthly physical meetings, and we usually have now a masterclass after every 3 months.
Okay.
So we get to now see the problems that as a community, what are we facing? If it's all about finance, we look for someone who's in the finance. Come and teach us about finance. If it's about AI, we look for someone who's building on AI. Come teach us about AI. So it's about leadership structure. We look for someone who's on the leadership structure. Come and teach us about leadership. So we meet online sessions. We have weekly and we have monthly physical. And after every 3 months, we have now a physical masterclass.
Okay.
Yep.
That's really amazing. I'm really amazed. Because when you told me about the project, I was like, okay, maybe it's just at the idea phase whereby you're trying to build it. So like having a community with 600 members, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Sure.
The last question, if you allow. So I have one last question. You have 600 members.
Yeah.
I think even that's the question that I was supposed to ask in the beginning. Like, at what moment you felt like, okay, now there's a need of a community? Because most of the stories always go back to personal stories.
Sure.
You see, like, okay, maybe you are a startup founder, you had an idea, and maybe you felt like, okay, in this journey, I'm alone. You see, so my main question is like, where did the idea come from? Was there a need? Did you identify there was a need like in the community, there's a need in the market, or it was due to your personal experience?
Okay, so where did this whole idea came for the community? I had an idea back in 2020. Had a beautiful idea. And the idea was more about how can I turn now waste, that is the biggest problem that we have right now in Nairobi. How can I turn waste into something that is meaningful?
Okay.
I can use a good example, that is the cabros. So I had that idea, and in a span of the next 2 years, someone had already executed my idea.
Really?
And right now, she's booming in the global. And I felt so bad because I was trying to tell people, hey, I have this idea. How can you guys help me from here to here? And I never had that support. And it came to just hit me when I saw someone actually in a global stage just presenting my idea. And I was like, oh my days. I just had this idea.
Exactly. And I think I agree with you because like when it comes to startups, when it comes to companies, execution is the key.
Execution is
if you're out there and you have an idea, trust me, if you have funds or not, if you have like structure or not, if you have help or not, execution is the key. It's better to have like a product that is 30% finished than a perfect product that will never come to reality.
Yeah.
See? So before leaving, where can our viewers find you?
Okay, where can you guys find me? So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. My name is Hezron Sigilai. All my platforms, Hezron Sigilai is my name. You can reach out to me, we can have a conversation, get to know how can we onboard you in our community. And we'll be so happy to have you, to help you move from ideation to execution, help you build, launch, and make an impact. Thank you so much.
What's the name of the community?
Future Builders Global.
Futures Builders
Global.
So just like they can find you like on all social media platforms, and also they can find the community like on all social media platforms.
Sure.
Future Builders
Global. Future Builders Global.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, and it was my pleasure having you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much to our viewers, and this was Startup Frequency, sponsored by the Nairobi Podcast Studio. Thank you. Till next time. Ciao.